it's MK, and today I am playing with the Crafty Maven Getaway's mixed media box again for pretty much the second and a half time, maybe the third time. I'm also playing along with Off the Board, and I picked out a mood board for today. Straight from Pinterest, you guys. I just type in mood boards and I search for colors that I'm looking for, and this was perfect for the colors that I have. So here I am showing you guys a couple of the pieces, the little pots that come in the mixed media box. I also have this Dusty Attic stencil, sharing with you guys the number in case you guys are curious. And I'm going to use my little spatula to hopefully spread that purple paint across the stencil. I have 5 photos that I would like to share with you guys that are going to be spread across a 2-page layout. Now that little pot, the small one is Dilution's Diamond Rocks in Laid Back Lilac, and then the little one is the Prima Finnabair Art Alchemy Impasto acrylic paint in Wild Iris. So I'm looking forward to that. I also have a tie-dye purple ribbon that is from the Texture add-on, and this really cool ribbon that is from the mixed media kit. And then all these little papers, I love this one. This one is my favorite with the emboss on it. Oh my gosh. And then this purple envelope. These all are little papers that came from the mixed media kit. I can't wait to play with them. I also have this doily that looks like felt, but it doesn't feel like felt. I just love the look of it and how it looks like felt without the bulk of the felt. And then this really cool sheet of hexagon embossed vellum. I also have this tissue paper that is from the mixed media box as well. So I'm looking forward to adding that onto my layout. And then I have the sequins. This is another add-on that you can get with your mixed media kit, but they are the Flying Dreams sequins pack, and it's got cool little wooden clouds in it and a beautiful array of colors. And then this twine also came with it, or floss. I'm not really sure exactly what it is, but I plan on adding that to my layout as well. It is just a beautiful deep purple. And then last but not least, I took all of my crepe paper and already die cut them. So this is the third time I will be adding them to a layout. But I love how when I sprayed them with alcohol spray or ink spray, not alcohol, ink spray, they curled up and did all these wild, crazy things because of the crepe paper feel and texture. So I love it. Okay, I'm also using my Kit Conspiracy kit from last month, or well, I should say from technically last month, but we didn't have anything planned for the last 2 days. And so these are all of the little bits and pieces that, or I should say laser cut pieces and die cut pieces from the Hidden Creek collection. And then I've got a couple of my own wood pieces. These are wood veneer pieces from Some Assemblage Required. I just don't have them in the packaging, and I've already unmasked them. So you can see the gorgeous wood behind the masking. All right, then these are some more of the die cut pieces that I have picked out also from the Hidden Creek. There's a couple laser cut pieces in there too. I'm just sharing with you guys where I brought in that other color that is in my mood board. So I absolutely love it. I also have these 2 sheets of wood grain that are from Simple Stories, the color vibes that they had, I want to say last year. And then it is the Cedar and White Ledger cardstock. Well, they call it cardstock, but I think it's a pattern print. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly, sorry, there was something on my mat that was driving me nuts. As you can see, my mat is not the normal mat that you would normally see me use, because I am at a retreat. I am far away in a far, far away land, the land of California, and I'm at a retreat, and this mat here is mobile enough to where I can take it with me on retreats and whatnot. Now, I don't really like to use it for videos because it is very busy, and I worry that it takes away from what you guys are viewing, and it's too, it's just way too busy for you guys to be able to focus on the elements that are laying on it as opposed to it itself. Now, this was a mat from a couple months ago last year, and it was a mat of the month. So I know they don't have it available anymore, but every now and then they bring back mats of the months and share them with with you guys for sale. So if you guys are curious about that, there's a link down below to go check out all the mats that they do have in stock on a normal basis. All right, so I'm going to spread my photos, and I matted them on that purple tissue paper. I just wanted a very faint mat. I did not want a solid cardstock photo mat because I'm going to use the other little elements that came in the kit as paper layers and try my hand at layering again. And then see what works for there. So here I should have used a marker because by the time I'm done putting all this mixed media on, I have no clue where my photos were supposed to go. I just, the pencil line blended in with the wood grain so beautifully. Okay, so here I am using this Prima Alchemy Impasto acrylic paint. Again, this color is Wild Iris, and this is my first time using it, and oh, how buttery smooth this is. It is so thick. I don't know if you're supposed to put it through a stencil, but as you can see, it works beautifully. Like, it's perfect for a stencil, and it's giving me great texture, great lump and bump, but not a lot. Like maybe a chipboard thickness, maybe a little less than chipboard, but I love it. I love how this looks and how it's going through, and I'm using it multiple times, so it's not so runny that it is making a mess underneath my stencil to where you can't see the design and get the design really well. So I absolutely am thrilled with this purple paint, and I cannot believe how much purple. I usually don't go for purple, but this was fun, and it was all inspired by my good best friend Janet's shirt, who she informs me it's not purple. She tells me it's pink. Okay, so this I love this paper, you guys. And I ripped it in half because I wanted to put it behind my large photo. I just knew that it wasn't going to fit behind the large photo. So I'm just taking my finger and distressing it a little bit and trying to get all the elements to work really well so that way I can stretch it across my big photo. And then I'm going to put the envelope behind my two photos up at the top, and then that smaller piece behind my single photo over at the bottom. And then I'm going to do the same thing with all of this ribbon that I have. I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors, and I'm going to just guesstimate how big of a cut, because I really want them to look like paper strips going behind my photos. And I feel like that's going to add a lot of not only texture, but it's going to add a lot of print to the layout without me adding a whole bunch of print to the layout, if that makes any sense. I don't want to add a lot of prints. Like, that's why I didn't map my photos and all this other stuff, because then I felt like I wasn't going to have room for all these little prints from this ribbon and whatnot. So I'm super excited to use these up. Now, this one here wasn't long enough to go all the way across, plus I'm a little too close to the edge of the paper. So what I need to do is, or what I ended up doing, is just cutting my ribbon in two pieces, and that way I'm going in like an L shape. You don't know that they're not an L shape, but I've got some coming up at the top and some coming off to the side, and I love that. I love this little pop of all these little colors, and I'm going to do the same thing so I can add a little bit of pop. And of course I want to pick out the best part, where to pull out that ribbon or fabric. I'm not really sure what it is. But it is really awesome. I love the little tie-dye effect and all the different colors that are on this piece of fabric. I'm not really sure. So I also have, let me see, I'm trying to think. Actually, I think it is the cotton fabric. It's not cotton stripes. No, cotton fabric is what that is. So I just love it. I love that all the different colors that are represented in this little piece of fabric. It is so fabulous. All right, so I am using, because I'm using all different kinds of textures, I am using my tear and tape, which takes a little bit longer to adhere to my my layout. Now, these are pictures of Janet and I in Sitka, Alaska. We love, oh my gosh, it's becoming one of my very favorite things to do is traveling with Janet. It is so much fun, and I do things that I normally probably wouldn't do. And I'm not saying like crazy things, but I definitely, I knew I wanted to go to Alaska one day, but I never knew that I would be in Alaska then. I've been in Alaska for work. That's no fun. But I just never knew that I would be in Alaska, just hanging out and having fun and whatnot. So one of these days, I am going to get my husband to deep sea fish in Alaska. That is going to happen one day. Just didn't happen on this particular trip. So anyways, I am using my tear and tape because I am going, for one, it's tissue tape. And once my double-sided tape gun hits the tissue, it starts actually ripping it, where this one I have a little bit more control. Plus, I'm trying to hold down all this fabric. So I just wanted to make sure that it stuck. And then I also didn't know how my adhesive gun would react to the paint that I put on my layout. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I used a tape that would actually hold with the mixed media. This is me trying to find my lines again. Oh, see, look, I don't even know where they are. Like, at this point, I can't see them, so I'm just going to wing it and get them centered over all this mixed media. It's great. So, and then I have to make sure that I cover the gap from that textured light purple print, which is actually a really cool, what do they call that? Paint swatch card. I love those, you guys. I really do like adding the paint swatches into my layouts. I just find that it's fun. Plus, I love numbers. And so this has a lot of numbers and a lot of information, except that they were on the other side. It would have been really cool if all that information was printed on the top, on the color side, because I definitely would have used that for sure. But it's okay. The texture of this paper was awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to add in a little bit of hexagons to my layout, just for a little bit of something else. I like the fact that this is vellum, because then it's not adding a ton to take away from what else I've got on my layout. So I just really, really like that. And now comes the embellishing part. So I've already got all my layers, and I've got all my photos, and I've got all my mixed media and all that good stuff. So now I need to embellish. So I'm going to start with all of these journaling spots and tags and tickets and things like that, because I need those to be in the foreground, where the leaves and things are always in the background. I had to cut a little bit off of that Remember This label just really quickly, because I used the tear and tape. I wasn't going to be able to rip it up and add, stick it down behind it farther. So I just went ahead and cut it off. Okay, so now that I found homes for all of them, or well, at least the main elements, I'm going to start by taking 3 of my really cool crepe paper leaves. I love these things, you guys. I am definitely going to get my hands on more of this crepe paper and just die cut these out, because that is just phenomenal. And I love this die. It's awesome. I just really like what it's adding to all of my clusters. I pretty much used them ever since I did this. I used them in almost every layout that I have done, using this Hidden Creek collection. So I love it. I can't not like it. I can't not like it. Okay, so anyways, I have no idea what I'm saying. I just really like these leaves. So I'm taking 3 at a time, and I'm sticking them underneath as far as they need to go, so that way they're not sticking out too tall, because the fern leaves are a little bit too tall, plus the fact that when I sprayed them, it kind of spread them out from the crinkled effect that crepe paper does. So they became a little bit longer than they should have. And they definitely lost a little bit of their form, but that's what makes them so great, because now they go wherever they need to go or wherever they want to go. And they just look like a messy bundle of fern leaves in the jungle or rainforest or wherever fern leaves grow. I don't know, you guys. I don't own any. I want some really bad, but I don't own any. So anyways, that was perfect. Then I went ahead and I added a little wooden a little wooden leaf in each of the clusters as well. And now I am adding this twine, and this twine I'm just folding in half, or actually I should say in thirds maybe. And it looks like a faux bow. That's what it looks like, but I didn't plan it to look that way. I just folded it up to make a messy nest like some people do. And it didn't turn out, it turned out like a bow in all 3 little spots. Like seriously, how do you do that? I don't know. I do it, but now that's what it looks like. And I'm just going to quickly use some foam dots to hold them all in place with other elements. So I'm just taking the Hello Adventure and I'm going to smack that right on top of the thread so that way it can hold it all in place. I'm sorry to have my hands flying across the page. It's just when I'm working at a retreat, I have everything in front of me instead of off to the side of me like I do at home. So I definitely have my hands darting across the page more than they should be. And then here is my last little bit that I'm going to be adding. I do have this wilderness token that I would like to add to my layout. And I'm just not sure if I want both tokens on the same side. Like I've got my Explore More token up at the top cluster and then my wilderness token over on the side. But to be honest, it didn't really fit on the left page. I guess it could have gone in the cluster down below my photos, but I really like it where it sits right now. So the last thing, I'm going to do 2 more things to this layout. The next thing I'm going to do to this layout is add some of these Dylusions diamond rocks. Now, when I first saw these little things, I thought it was embossing embossing powder, and I was going to try to emboss with it. And then I'm really glad that I read the description of what was going on in the, in the box, like what was in the box and what is it all called and who is it all from. And this is called Dylusions Diamond Rocks. So I thought, oh, that's cool. I could use these to make them look like sand or dirt or things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just take some glue and spread it around my page and then sprinkle these rocks onto my layout, right? Like embossing powder, but now I'm not embossing. I don't know if I could have used embossing powder to make it stick. I don't know. I don't really know. I just know that this is probably what I would have done if it was anything else, right? Of course, I don't have everything adhered. I'm just now finding that out, that not everything was glued down. Whoops, my bad. Before I started adding all of this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quickly. Make sure everything is secured and glued down before I continue, because I am going to have to start twisting and turning so I can, dump the rocks, the extra rocks that aren't in the glue off the page. I just realized I have not yet to cut my my branding strips off of my wood grain. I was so excited to get started on this layout that I couldn't contain myself, and I just got started right away. So yes, the branding strips are still on my layout. They will come off eventually, I promise. Just not right now. But I do love this little add-on to my layout, having this, basically this dirt put on my layout. I mean, it is perfect for an outdoor layout. Okay, so I had to fast forward the rest of that because of the fact that these little rocks started going everywhere, and I needed to clean up my desk because I don't like the grinding that happens underneath a glass mat. So once you start moving a piece of paper around, kind of like what I'm doing here, I'm twisting it a little bit, and I hear the grinding underneath, it kind of gets to me. It's like nails on a chalkboard. So I do have to lift up my page and wipe off the desk and whatnot. And they get everywhere. But it is super fun. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just messily adding some glue, dabbing all these rocks into the glue, and then tapping them off. It is just fabulous. It really, really is. Super fabulous. I love how this adds to my stencil work and all that good stuff. I am going to try to add this to the stencil the next time to see if it'll dry in the paint. I'm also going to try to mix it with the paint. That's what I want to do next, is mix it. I just have to come up with more purplish layouts. I'm very funny, you guys. Purple is definitely not a color I usually scrapbook with, but when I do have photos that call for purple, I tend to gravitate a lot towards the purple. And I do enjoy using it on layouts. I really do. I like purple. And this purple with this green is just gorgeous. And I love it. I feel like the mood board did itself justice for sure. So the last thing I'm going to do for my layout is add these sequins from the sequins mix, and I dumped them out right in front or above me because I don't have, this glass mat is too small to have it. It's just wide enough for a 12 by 24 layout. So I don't have any room off to the side of me. So I dumped them out in front of me, and I'm just grabbing them really quickly to adhere them to my layout. And there's two different sizes and two different colors or shades of the purple, not two different colors, the shades. And so I'm just going through them and picking them out. There does look like there's a third purple, but then when I look at it, it almost looks like it's just frosted. So I didn't really want to add that to my layout because I didn't want to take anything away from the layout, because I'm already in awe of what this layout looks like. I just absolutely love it. All right, you guys, so that is my layout for today. Please be sure to check out the Crafty Maven Getaway. Her website is down below with the link to just the mixed media kit if you guys are interested in that. And then it's also the link to the April release. So that way you could see the sequins mix, the texture add-on, all the good stuff of what you can get in addition to the mixed media kit. This mixed media kit was super fun. I absolutely loved playing along with it. I had a blast. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to check out all the list that I have down below for everyone playing along with off the board as well. I have all of those folks hanging out with me. And yeah, again, thank you so much for hanging out with me and checking out what I was up to today. I always appreciate it when you guys stop by and say hey. Again, thanks, and I will check y'all later. Bye.